Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Good morning, class. Welcome back to the Nerd Academy podcast, your source for nerddom news and commentary. I am your host and superior web headmaster, Jarod Bachman-Stubbs. I might be a little low energy today, guys. I feel like I lost a fight to Bane. I don't know how I threw out my back, but I threw out my back. So it might be a little half a step behind. But we're here for a little news roundup. Lots of shit going on. Not just in the entertainment world, but in the world at large. It's a lot to take in all at once. The horrors are abound, but you got to protect your joy, got to, keep up to date with the things that make you happy. So that's why we are here, hopefully helping in that. But I am not alone. I am joined by a dear friend of the show, honorary adjunct professor of the Nerd Academy, Mitch692.
I'm here to talk about Evangelion and Bounce. That's what I'm here for.
No, I hate doing episodes where I just talk to the camera. I feel so unprofessional when I'm by myself. I feel like I'm so bad at it. Unless I literally have you to edit me. I feel like I am a fool who sounds foolish. But speaking of Ava and speaking of anime in general, while Mitch is here, I do want to say, if you're not already watching Pro and Noob on the Mitch692 channel, fix that. We are about halfway through the season 3 of Attack on Titan.
We are when does this come out? Is this coming out today?
This is going to come out pretty much the moment we're done.
Cool.
This is Friday, March 6th, so it's coming out the same day.
Monday, we are going to have the extra special 47, 48, 49, the end of royal government. So if you're expecting a very, very valid crash out, tune into Pro and Noob.
But we've been having a blast with that. I'm not going to get too into my opinions on Attack on Titan because that basically would spoil Pro and Noob effectively by talking too much about it. But I do want to say I think that the more I mulled over it, I think at one point I do kind of jump the gun a little bit and say that I think Attack on Titan is my new favorite anime. And the more I've sat on that, I think it's at a very healthy second place to Ava. A very respectable.
I said at the start when we started Attack on Titan that I don't blame anyone for saying Attack on Titan's their favorite. Like anything ever. I can't blame people for that.
Yeah.
It's not mine. I think it's very, very firmly top 5, if not top 3.
And I think, I absolutely. That said, I think that Attack on Titan, and I think this is what I was feeling, but didn't know how to verbalize it correctly. I think Attack on Titan is my favorite season of Pro and Noob.
Yeah.
Ava was magical. Ava was fun. Dan to Dan kept me sane because it was right after I had lost my job. For me specifically, something like Dan to Dan keeping me sane isn't too outlandish, but that kept me sane because I had just lost my job and I was like, okay, I need to I'm working on video essay script and I'm watching Dan to Dan and it's
still not happened, by the way.
Which is still listen. You know why? Because this is a process and I lost my fucking job, Mitch. But
when did you lose your job, Jarod? When did you get your new job?
Okay, listen. I had some catch up to do after that.
There was a fun fact, people at home, there's a point in time where I said, why not just push it to January and start everything there? And he went, no, I won't do it. I want it out before Christmas. We are March.
We are, and I'm working on it. And
again, I'm not complaining.
But
Maybe because I'm going to change everything I've done for that video anyway, without him having any say. But
well, not too much. Don't change too much, because
no, the basic idea is going to be the same.
But all of that to say, I'm really happy with this season of Pro and Noob. Now that I'm done with Attack on Titan and I can safely like look at the comments, I've been going back and looking at the comments on some of the episodes, and have been very entertained by. I've been very entertained by the amount of people going, "Oh,
Yeah,
he hasn't figured it all out, has he?"
No.
The answer is a resounding no.
I think I was on Instagram last night, and it was something to do about one of the spoilers, and one of the comments was, I watched it with like a partner at the time or something, and every time a certain character came up on the screen from the very start of the show, it was like in a really sad time. It's like, yeah, that would annoy me. You had 4 seasons of not
I saw a
Not
video about somebody saying like whenever like the Krista, using her name at the time.
That's what the video actually was about. Yeah.
Yeah, it was someone going, Historia. Fuck.
I want you to know how much I struggled not to do that myself. It was so bad.
It was very good stuff.
So
but
bad.
Please go check out the Attack on Titan season of Pro and Noob. We're having a great time. I'm very excited for this next episode because I know Mitch cooked up a little something for the intro.
There is, yeah. Was it?
No,
yeah, it was this one. Yeah. It's been so long, I genuinely forgot which episode that was.
Same. Like we had like for those of you, like you'll hear it when the episodes come out. Mitch and I did, I think in the span of a week, like 10.
We did at least the season 4, the whole thing in a week, near enough.
Yeah, and like they're like because like 3-4 episodes in a day. So like so much of it is like blurred together that like it's left me. I Attack on Titan was a very challenging text for me. I really enjoyed it. I didn't get a chance to send this to you. I've also been like watching a lot of videos like unpacking the politics of Attack on Titan, and I found those to be very, very fascinating. Even if I don't agree with a lot of the arguments, I find them very fascinating. I didn't finish the video yet. I'm going to send it to you when I finish it. I saw a really good video about how Attack on Titan is implicitly anti-Semitic, and in that very like it accidentally, which I thought was interesting because that was something I brought up where I was like,
you brought that up really early on, yeah.
And I was like, I feel like we're accidentally trafficking in some tropes, and like I got so lost in the sauce of what was going on screen that it didn't really click for me that basically the entirety of the lore around Ymir and how all of that functions is basically fucking blood libel, and that like it's one of those instances where Ayasama did himself favors by it being such an anti-war, anti-oppression text that like that's he's not trying to say blood libel, but unfortunately he does do blood libel by accident. And it's one of those instances where things
he's
get a
Japanese.
Little messy.
I can understand.
And that's a huge part of that. That's a huge part of the video. Is that like that there was like an element of like Japanese internment that was what was intended, but because
this is the thing with that whole thing. A lot of the times people will watch like an anime like Attack on Titan and go, "Oh, it must be to do with this Western thing." It's like a lot of the time it's probably to do with the Eastern thing. Like, yes, stuff doesn't just happen over here; it happens over there. Like Japan, China, and Korea, famously best friends throughout history.
Famously best friends all throughout history.
No, the Japanese have never done anything wrong, ever. Very clearly. Says every Korean and Chinese person.
But either way, go check it out. We're having a great time over there. I mean, I am in a constant state
if you
of
watch
turmoil.
one, if you only ever watch one, watch this one.
It comes out on Monday.
It comes out on Monday, yeah.
Hell yeah.
If you've been wanting to crash out, the crash out happens.
I'm excited to watch that one back. knowing everything I know now, watching it back, especially for the intro that I've not heard
seen,
the intro
no.
you made. I saw the intro you made, but I've heard it. But very, very excited nonetheless. But anyway, all that said, check out Pro and Noob, Mitch692 channel. Link is always in the description of every episode of Nerd Academy, Road to Doomsday, and that's the Nerd Republic. Speaking
And if
of Road to
Jarod does a
Doomsday,
collaborator thing, it will just be in the feed for Tina.
yes, I was going to say that because we're doing that now too, so everybody can see where everybody's at. That all said, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, Road to Doomsday.
Evangelion, it's fine.
We still need to do Sunday's Bloody Mary. Road to Doomsday. In a couple days, the big one, Avengers Endgame. Massive episode. Episode almost as long as the movie. It is me. It is Taylor. It is Mitch. It is Travis. It is Alden. Just absolute colossal episode. Really excited for that to come out. I will say, as a kind of like a precursor to it, I think he sorted it out by now. Alden was experiencing some weird latency issues with StreamYard for like the better part of a month. Those of you who watch Anytime with Ken and Alden know that he and Ken were having issues where they basically had to talk for a very long time to give the other one, pardon my hiccups, enough buffer room to respond.
Yeah.
And that issue is a little bit at play with Road to Doomsday. I consider trying to edit it down and try to like pare it out, but when I kind of took a pass at it, I was realizing I was like, it somehow makes the conversation more clunky. You know,
this is why the recording each person's feed is the way to go.
Yeah, you're right. But all of that to say, Avengers Endgame episode out on Monday for Road to Doomsday. Obviously, last week was Ant-Man and the Wasp. This week was Captain Marvel. So go check those ones out. Those ones need some TLC. But jumping into the news today after a little bit of housekeeping, a brief word from our sponsors over at Sunday's Bloody Mary. You guys know the drill. Sunday's Bloody Mary has the most badass Bloody Mary accoutrement in the multiverse with their 3-time award-winning spicy mix, as well as their mild and traditional mixes if the spice isn't for you. This former bartender trusts only one Bloody Mary mix, and that is Sundays. The only mix better than a from-scratch Bloody. If you want to shake up your Bloody Mary game for the rest of your days and help out your favorite nerds while you do it, use the link in the description down below and use the code TNAP, TNAP, at checkout. But for our main story, our biggest story, one that is going to rattle the heavens of the entertainment industry, the worst case scenario in a situation where both scenarios were kind of dog shit came to pass. Paramount has won the bidding war to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. Now we've had word. These are one of those stories where like this isn't just about cape shit and nerd shit. We also do need to talk about like the real world element of this. Now, at the outset, the Paramount has said, and again, I believe Paramount as far as I could throw it, that they're not going to be meddling with the goings on over on the Discovery side of Warner Brothers Discovery, which was the main thing that Travis and I were kind of had our hackles raised about. Hackles raised about.
This man is Eren Yeager.
Shut the fuck up. I hate you so much, but I love you dearly. You're one of my favorite collaborators. But
I mean, stop acting like it then.
I'm not acting like it. Every little thing that makes me upset doesn't make me want to do a like planetary annihilation. But we were worried. Like that was the main thing. Is like we've already seen what has happened to CBS News with the hack fraud known as Barry Weiss in charge. That was kind of the main concern. Something that I was kind of freaked out about. Paramount is saying
haven't they also said they're not going to touch CNN? CNN's going to stay independent, which
I'll believe that when I see it. Now, granted, that said, it wouldn't be unheard of for a kind of demagogue like outfit to let there be basically controlled opposition,
Yeah,
or at the
yeah.
very least, like have an opposition voice. If either out of their own ethical sense of, well, we don't want to completely dominate the thing, or because they know it would be a really bad look if they did go full tilt boogie and turn CNN into Fox News Mark II. Um, the so allegedly CNN is going to go untouched. Allegedly things are going to kind of operate as they have been. This is mostly just we have access to assets, we have access to IP, stuff like that. I'll believe it when I see it. At the end of the day, this is bad for entertainment. This is bad. The shrinking and the consolidation of Hollywood is something that everybody should be concerned about. I said it before when it seemed like Netflix was going to win this fight, and I'll say it again now that they have lost, that Paramount has come out on top. Mergers like this, more often than not, are bad. There are instances where it's not as much of a power grab, you know. I would say that like Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm is one of those instances where that was like a company that was an independent company, a
Yes, yeah,
studio
yeah.
house that was kind of brought into a bigger fold.
Mm.
Something more akin to that would be when Disney bought 20th Century Fox. Yes, were there good things about that acquisition for like you and me and everybody at home watching and listening? Were there good things about that? Sure. X-Men are in the MCU, the Fantastic Four, stuff like that. Like, Marvel is being made a little bit more whole. That does not, however, negate jobs were lost and consolidation was allowed to happen. And this is another instance where consolidation is being allowed to happen. Paramount has engaged in so many, just for lack of a better term and to use a polite term, really ugly business practices to make sure that they are the right hand of the Trump administration. We saw what happened with Stephen Colbert. Is late night dying? Yes. Was the late show with Colbert canceled because late night is dying?
No.
Maybe, but that's certainly not the only reason. So it's a big miasma. It's really frustrating, and to kind of read from the demagogue's mouth from Paramount's news press release. The newly merged company will be positioned to compete in the rapidly evolving entertainment industry, where storytelling combined with world-class technology expertise will be an important driver of value creation across the ecosystem and for shareholders. Investing in the world-class studios of Paramount and WBD, focusing on attracting and retaining the industry's leading creative talent while expanding the supply of high-quality content of both the combined company's platforms and third-party distribution platforms. Driving long-term growth, all that jazz. Also, once all of this is finalized, HBO Max and Paramount Plus are going to be folded into one streaming service. How that's going to work, I don't know what to expect as to how that will look.
No, because I don't know how it works over here.
I'm very curious
Because
about that.
because Sky just announced a deal over here where Disney Plus, we had Paramount Plus anyway, but Disney Plus HBO Max, which hasn't actually launched over here, but for some reason it's going to be now part of Sky. So how is that going to work with Paramount and HBO Max?
I don't understand how it works.
Things, but
I don't understand how it works over here, but I do know, and maybe I'm getting my wires crossed, and somebody in the comments can correct me. There are a lot of bundles that offer up Disney Plus Hulu, obviously, basically the same company, but also HBO Max as a bundle. Now, I don't know if that was just like the wireless companies. Like, I know Taylor and I recently switched to Verizon, and we got like HBO Max and Hulu and Disney Plus and ESPN are all basically for a fraction of the price. And Netflix for a fraction of the price, all basically part of our phone bill. And whatever. So maybe I'm just like misremembering official bundles as that one, but I'm pretty sure there was like a bundle that was like not affiliated with like switch to Verizon, switch to AT&T, and you get blah, 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 blah. Get all the streamers. But I'm pretty sure there was like a Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max one floating around for a while, and I never understood the logistics of how a Disney.
Because I don't even know if they're bundles for Sky over here. It's just a case of like, hey, if you got Sky, cool. Here's Paramount Plus for free. Here's Netflix for free.
Right.
No, Disney Plus is now doing that at the end of March, I think. So you have to see if I can cancel that and then just get Disney Plus for nothing on top.
Yeah, but so how are you feeling now that the Ellisons have control over one of?
I'm feeling fantastic. Yeah, great. Yeah. I think it's really good. Yeah. It's. I honestly don't even know. I don't want it. No one needs it. It's purely a cash grab because we're in the last great cash grab of capitalism, unfortunately. But at the same time, this is what WB's been for the last 20 years. They haven't been. WB's not been what people think WB has been for decades at this point. And every time it happens, people act surprised. It's like your entire life, they've just been shipped around. They are just an IP factory at this point. They're nothing more than that.
It's just so disappointing because, like, Warner Brothers has had such a banner year, like in 2025. And, if I'm not mistaken, the Oscars are this weekend. And is it this weekend or next weekend? I don't remember. I know Taylor and I, because of Road to Doomsday, have not had a chance to do our usual
The 15th. 15th.
Okay, so they're next weekend. We're certainly not going to have time to catch up on all the Best Picture nominees. But
No.
But with how well Sinners has been performing during award season, and not that award season matters, and not that I'm necessarily going to mourn a multi-billion-dollar company, but it's one of those things where it's like it's an institution of culture, it's an institution of pop culture, and seeing it get eaten alive and passed around, there are things that are concerning about it. It's unfortunate. Again, it's a consolidation. It's a bottom line thing. People are going to lose jobs. There's going to be shrinkage, and it's ugly. It's unfortunate. I hate every second of it. And my biggest worries about this are more to do with the real world, like outside of entertainment. Like, again, I am so, and not to say that like CNN is some bastion of the free press, like
But it's just
CNN,
another right wing owned outlet.
yeah, it's just, but now that's going to fall under the umbrella, and it's concerning. And will CNN be affected? We'll see. They're saying they won't fuck with it. I'll believe it when I see it. And there's things like last week tonight, John Oliver. We saw what they did to Colbert. Last week tonight is in my opinion, as far as media, like mainstream media that speaks truth to power as much as something can. I find myself highly speculative as whether or not Last Week Tonight is allowed to continue in the way that it is. That's something that I find concerning as well, just because it's such a font of information for people. I know there are a lot of people who learn a lot about kind of niche, less talked about geopolitical issues that they get from Last Week Tonight. Again, is Last Week Tonight the most, it's the most progressive in terms of like the mainstream, and it's not necessarily a news show. But a lot of people learn a lot from Last Week Tonight, and there's a part of me that's worried about, does that get shuttered? What does John Oliver do after that? What do those writers do? I used to be a big Cracked guy. Right out of high school, and I fell in love with basically Cracked's version of Last Week Tonight, called Some News, and with Cody Johnston and Katie Stoll. And then after Crack shuttered, they started their own version called Some More News. And I love it. I watch it every week. I will, both of the podcasts and the actual show very similar to last week tonight. And there's a part of me that's like, does last week in a weird Ouroboros situation was like the a little bit more vulgar, further left version of last week tonight end up being a bellwether for what happens to the actual last week tonight? Um, who knows? But it's something we're gonna have to keep our eyes on, and in terms of the entertainment journalism element of it, in terms of the cape shit of it all, who the fuck knows what this means for DC?
Yeah.
There's a part of me that
they said that they want gun to continue as normal or something like that whole bit to continue as normal. No, he'll be there for another 2 years and then he'll be gone if he goes. It's always the way.
So do you think if Gunn were to part ways and if Gunn were to dip, do you think that would be a act of rebellion from him because of what the Ellisons
I think if it's an act of it will be a rebellion if he leaves like within a year. If he's there for another 2 years, no. Because then it's just the standard, cool, we brought this, we're going to transition period, then you can, you goodbye. That's always how it goes. That's my thing. That's if he goes. He doesn't stay on, but.
It would just be so grim and so just unfortunate and disappointing if DC, dies in the crib again.
Yeah.
And this time of no fault of its own. This time of it's you can't blame it on Snyder. You can't blame it on people don't like these movies and they don't understand this isn't a conversation about the art if DC goes down again and it turns into this weird miasma of semi-canonicity and we're just kind of doing shit and nothing really counts and we can't touch Superman and we can't touch Batman because we don't know what's going on with Cavill and we don't know what's going on with Affleck and we don't know if we're going to do a Batman movie and it would just be so unfortunate. And again, it seems trite with everything going on in the world right now, but also, guard your joy, care about the things you care about. It would just be really disappointing after how much of a cultural moment Superman was.
Yep. Well.
For everything to cave in on itself after that. And that has me concerned. It would make me very sad. But yeah.
Because the next one will have Superman be against what's it? Not Jormungandr. I keep thinking of God of War or Norse. It's Yarnapur or something like that. Yarnapur.
I have it. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't pronounce it.
No. I can't remember it.
From Superman 2025.
I saw it be spelt once and I thought that's not right. That's just Norse mythology, and it's like, oh no, that actually is the name of the country.
So Baravia is the country invading, and the invaded country is Jarhanpur.
That's the one, Jarhanpur. Yeah, that script will get flipped.
Yeah, Superman's defending Jarhanpur to the dying breath.
I think it was last CBC, me and Armin were joking that he's going to show up in the electric blue Superman suit. Just because it's white and blue. That's your new Superman suit, everybody.
It's fucked up because you said
called
that
the Iron Dome.
No. In my mind, I was like, be an interesting color. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. I went, oh, no. But on the topic of Warner Brothers and on the topic of DC, Mitch, how about them lanterns? Certainly can't call them green, that's for sure.
There is people to be saying it's brown. It's not brown. It's very clearly an earthy green. Know your color. I know Americans like to say that green is a primary color. It's not. You're wrong. Shut up. But the suit is a very earthy green. It's muddy. Yes.
Okay, if we're gonna jump in immediately talking about Hal's suit that's in the
Oh, I
closet,
mean, let's be honest. There's nothing else to talk about in that trailer. Cool. It's a HBO show. Fantastic.
okay.
Fantastic.
Let me say this much because I think people have been like preliminarily hating on lanterns so
People
fucking
have
hard.
lost their damn minds about that trailer. It's kind of funny. It's not. It's funny in a
I
really
mean,
annoying way.
even before that, like, here's our first look at lanterns, and it's just John and Hal like walking down a road, and people are like, "Oh, what
Again,
is
it's
this?" Blah, 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 blah.
bad
And
first look. Bad
bad
first look.
first look.
Not
I'll go so far as to say I'm not even super in love with the trailer.
mm.
You know, I wish we got more. I wish that, you know, in the same way that Superman, its trailers led with ba 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 da da da. Here's fucking Superman. Take all this in. Fuck yeah.
There's none of that here. No, void. No
It's,
wonder the first thing you see is a desert. It's barren.
and I'm
Is
like,
my field of joy. It's barren. Greenland.
guys, and again, like these are one of those instances where like it's not that I'm necessarily against a more earthbound, you know, True Detective with the Green Lantern Corps.
You
thing.
could. It's been done in the comics before, right? Not that I'm a Green
And-
Lantern guy. I do not care about Green Lantern in the slightest.
That's why I'm
best
sad
person
Travis
to-
was not able to join us because I feel like I feel like I'm fighting with one arm tied behind my back right now talking about Green Lantern with
Travis is too busy looking for the actual One Piece. I imagine.
yeah, basically.
I assume he told you about that.
Oh, I saw that myself. That came to my feed on its own.
Excellent. The algorithm's working.
The algos are working.
Hey, Mr.
In the
Beast,
same way,
if you wanna, you can go.
in the same way that Instagram and TikTok have both figured out that I've finished Attack on Titan. And Mitch has been inundated with the TikTok algorithm, also owned by the Ellisons.
Yeah.
Going, oh hey, would you like a Attack on Titan Kendrick Lamar edit?
Have 1,000 of them.
Have 1,000 of them. Even though, and we'll get to lanterns here in a second. I resent, even though it was great, and I sent it to you, and I was like, wow, this is really good. I resent the shit out of putting Aaron goddamn Yeager to the Super Bowl halftime show. Like Kendrick's Super Bowl halftime show. And again, it is not my place to talk about like black revolutionary aesthetics being used on a stage like that. Like that's
No, but people do say
go to
Attack
FG
on
Signifier
Titan.
for that.
People do say, you know, Aaron Yeager cured racism. I assume you've seen that going around.
I've not, and that is an insane fucking thing to say.
Aaron Yeager cured racism.
But
Not cured it.
The thing that gets me going is there are so many great Kendrick songs that you could use for Aaron. None of it should involve the revolution's about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. No, there is no revolution to be televised. We are not gonna let this guy get the cosplay as anything other than a fucking maniac. I tipped my hand too much, but like,
leave the goober alone. Come on,
Man at the Garden from GNX would be such a great Aaron song. I could make a whole playlist of just Kendrick songs that would be great for Aaron Yeager edits. Using the Super Bowl halftime show made me angry. I was like, the only reason I wasn't like blood boiling was the fact that it was great. But anyway, back to Lanterns.
It was a good edit.
I wanted a little bit more of that resounding Green Lantern, and we don't get it, and that's fine. And I can live with the setting. It's just the fact that like I don't want to go so far as to say that it feels like the show is embarrassed of what it is, because I don't think that's the case.
It's an overcorrection. There's still very much concerned about the movie and people's perceptions from that movie, despite no one really watching that movie. No one's spoken about that movie in years. They are very much concerned about that. I was trying to find the word earlier on CBC because Armin said the same thing. I don't think it is a case of being embarrassed, but it's like we don't really want to admit what this is, just in case people still remember. It's like
I just think I just wish the trailer gave us more in either direction. I wish it gave us more of the down and dirty, this is what we're investigating. Or I wish it gave us more of brightest day, blackest night, no evil shall escape my. Like I wish we got more of either of those.
Yeah.
And I feel like, for me personally, my opinion, that I was underserved on both of those sides of the scale. And I like the characterization so far for Hal. I like the direction Hal is going in. You know, looking forward to a little bit more John. You know, but we're still kind of in this limbo of like, I don't know enough about the true detective side of it for me to go, okay, well, I'm going to let them cook on this front because you've piqued my interest in the mystery element. And I can't go, oh, we'll see what the mystery element's all about. But I love what they're doing with the Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
Neither one feels really satisfied for me, at least. And then that kind of left me kind of twisting in the wind a little bit. With the suit, I don't think
we all
it's
know
brown.
Jarod has bad opinion on suits.
That's not fucking true.
Factually true. Factually true.
I have great taste in suits. I have great taste in suits. I can appreciate the one that other people don't love.
Toothpaste Morales, yeah.
Yes, I like the suit. I like the colors.
Horrendous.
I thought it was a really brave move to put a lot of blue on.
Oh, it's definitely brave to be like, hey, here's a product placement paid for by Adidas. Look at
nobody got angry at Spider-Verse. Nobody got angry at Spider-Verse that Miles was always wearing some Jordan 1s.
Yeah, but Spider-Verse doesn't go, here's the Killmonger at the same time.
I am on the
That's
record
horrific.
I can do. I've been on the record as saying I can do without the hair tuft and the mask. Because if I'm not mistaken, it also has a hood on it, right?
I think it does. Not? I can't remember half that game because
I think it should be a closed mask with the hood.
But then you're just doing Gwen.
The hair tuft is a little
Miles Morales original, like yeah.
Okay. Every Spider-Man suit. Okay, then Gwen is doing Ben Reilly. Fuck off. But
no, because it's not a hoodie. She's a ballerina. Nuance, Jarod.
Anyway, sorry,
the
I just
green
saw something on my phone.
The Green Lantern suit is.
The reason why I don't love that suit for the way it looks is twofold. One, and these are one of those like cultural osmosis things. I don't know what I don't know. This is like a preference thing. To my memory, more often than not, the suit is not really a suit you put on.
No.
It's a bling, bling, kind of like appears on you. And so already on that level, I'm like, I don't like that he has like a piece of clothing on a hanger in a closet.
But then Guy Gardner has that in Superman.
That's different because he has the issued uniform from Maxwell
Lord. It's still.
But that's not his Green Lantern uniform. Like that is not like if Guy were to be called back to Owen on like official business, and they're like, Guy, we need you, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, to go do shit as an emissary of the Green Lantern Corps. We also need you to be in a Green Lantern uniform. I would prefer it to be something that he comes on. So that's nitpicky, and I know that. That's just like one of those like I don't like that it's a suit you put on. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. I've questioned for that exact reason if that actually is a shot from the show or if it's hey, here's the suit in the wardrobe. Here's like a behind the scenes. This is a wardrobe shot. Not an
Why would that
actual.
be just weirdly spliced into like a narrative, like diegetic
Was it?
trailer?
Was it
though?
in the actual trailer though? I don't remember
Yeah,
it being in there. Was
it was.
I mean, fuck it then. I don't remember
So
being in the
I don't
trailer.
care for that. And the main reason I'm like kind of miffed about the color, and I agree, it is a brown green or a green brown, whichever order you want to put those in. Is that there's a part of the suit that you can see on the shoulders that is that like pure like Green Lantern emerald green. And there's a part of me that's like, has Hal not had the suit on in a minute? And maybe it's gunked up from
How
the previous
old is it?
battle. How old is it? You know, is that some type of like metal type material or like some type of like space, you know, like to use like a Star Wars term, like Duraplast, you know, like type thing, and like the rest of it is like a cloth or like a leather or whatever. And you know, does Hal put on the suit and then he puts on the ring, and then there's kind of like two like green rings that go up and down him, and then when they go away, it's no longer brown and it's like that vibrant emerald.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't mind that. I wish our first look at what the suit looks like wasn't it looking dingy. You know, and I think the only I think I could live with it if there wasn't the exact shade of green I imagine a Green Lantern suit being somewhere on the suit, but the main body of the suit being that weird brown color, brownish color.
I think me and Amy were talking about this earlier,
and that's the beginning and the end of my criticisms. I don't like that it's a physical piece of clothing, and I'm a little off put by the brown, and I wish I got more of either the True Detective or the lanternness of it. Other than that, I like
this comes back to the whole they got a bit of anxiety about the character of Green Lantern, because you've had Ryan Reynolds for the last 10 years go, oh, don't make it animated. Like, so everyone's got that in the forefront of their mind with Green Lantern. So physical suit. This might just be a bit of a hopium sort of thing. I hope it's right. I think the suit's that sort of muddied, earthy color because it's gonna have like glow, like a constructy sort of look to it. Like, you know how like sometimes in the suit the logo sticks out a little bit, and
yeah, it's almost like a
I think they're gonna
hologram
go
projecting from the symbol.
I think you're gonna have a bit of that, because then that way that can be the bright green, and then you have this contrast.
I don't know that I like that. I
don't know if I like that. I think that's the way it's gonna go.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Also,
I will say
I don't think it helped them in the slightest. It very much looks like a CW suit. I'm sorry. The whole leather stuff, it just looks like something the CW would have done. I think you should have had a full reveal of everything. Just seeing this much of a jacket isn't great. It should have at least been him wearing it and not just hanging up. That's an awful idea, but
if I have one other thing that I want to talk about with the discourse around the Lanterns trailer, I feel like I am reliving They Fly Now.
Yeah, people, I don't get why is everyone going, why is he flying? No, I don't.
No, not that. I will say again, I wish there was a green outline around him while he was flying. I'm talking about when Hal kind of flippantly goes, yeah, man, they're all fucking aliens. Like, I'm the only human. And like, there's a goddamn squirrel. It's like, okay, I think he's speaking in hyperbole. I don't think he's saying he's literally the only human, but there are so few compared to the vast, like, species diaspora of the Lantern Corps. All of them, like, you know, red, yellow.
When he's with
blue,
the core, when it is a core, he's the only one, because Guy Gardner's like,
yeah, it seems like Guy Gardner is super earthbound. You know, Guy might be like, you know, he's part of the Lantern Corps, but he isn't really. But he's doing his thing, and he still has a ring, and all this. Like, that's like literally, like there's so many reasons to explain that. In the same way, people get so fucking pissy about the They Fly Now thing and the Rise of Skywalker, where when that clip came out, and people were like, "What do they mean? They don't know they fly? They've been they've been implementing jetpack troopers all throughout the galactic history." Blah, 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 blah. There was part of me that's like, okay, and what if that's just kind of an in the moment, like, oh, good, they fly now. Like we're being chased. We're in this weird speeder chase through the desert. Oh, great! Now they have air supremacy. They fly now.
Yeah.
You know, like I think it's one of the instances where people just get
people
so
have lost their
hung
mind
up on
about this
that.
trailer.
But like I just like it's the like, oh, I'm the only human. Maybe he doesn't even know about Guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't even know about Guy. Like it's almost the inverse of they fly now. Because they fly now, again, to me, when that clip first came out back in 2019, I was like, I legitimately think this is them complaining about the fact that in this moment, right now, as we speak, the stormtroopers went from walking to running to on a speeder to in the air. They fly now. Great. The lanterns version of this can be both the hyperbolic, I'm used to talking to a squirrel and somebody and like a big goofy looking alien like Kilowog, and I'm like the only human in the room most of the time.
He is. They're going for the Star-Lord thing.
Or he doesn't know about Guy, and Guy's just kind of been earthbound. I don't know. I mean, I know Guy talks about taking the vow in Superman, but like
when was
that doesn't necessarily mean that he's like an official part of the Corps. Like to Star Wars it again, like he could be like a way seeker Green Lantern who's kind of doing his own thing in the corner, not really being watched by Oa, or Oa is monitoring him, but he is not somebody who's like, hey, shit's going down and Baloop, get your ass out there. It's like, no, shit's going down on Earth. They need a lantern here because Hal's doing his thing in space. So, like I said, on the whole, I like the idea. I'm excited to see it. I'm absolutely going to give this show its day in court. I think a lot of people have already decided they're not going to like it, and that pisses me off because, I think it's just bad for discourse. I think it's bad for art. Give these things an opportunity to be what they are and not what you want them to be. And those are my minor quibbles that are part of the conversation. But
I don't think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be fine. I really struggle to care with what they've shown us so far. It's like, it's not what I would have done for Green Lantern. Why didn't you do the Green Lantern Corps TV show? Why are we doing this version of Green Lantern? I get why, because money. But it's a HBO show at the end of the day. It looks like one. It's kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
I just don't care to see it. I'll watch it eventually, I imagine. I'll probably wait till it's done. I'm not going to keep up with it. But
I'm certainly going to try to. I mean, March and April are going to be no man's land for Cape Shit TV. Yeah. I mean, Daredevil, Invincible, The Boys. Like, I think Lanterns starts at the end of this month or in April, right? I knew that earlier and I forgot. Oh, August. We have plenty of time. But anyway, all of that to say, time will tell. But Mitch, do you want to talk about the funny story or the story that's the reason why I specifically have you?
We'll talk about the funny one. We'll end it on the good one. It was like he's given me the choice. Yet his show notes had the one I want. I'm only here for at the end anyway. So
okay, you rarely see the show notes, but what nobody at home knows is how often I do this out of order, and I like make decisions on the fly as to what order we're going to talk about stuff in.
Just do the.
We'll close.
Save
the
good one. The only one that matters this week.
So, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna
my internet did just go a little.
All right, and we are back. A little technical difficulty there because StreamYard loves to fuck with us. But Sony's rebooting the Spunk, and that is really fucking funny. So apparently,
They're
China
having
banned,
another load. God damn.
yeah. Also, with news that China blocked No Way Home because of the Statue of Liberty, which I just have to say, not having the Chinese market and how well that movie made, really impressive.
Yeah.
All things considered. But I'm going to read directly from this article from Hollywood Reporter here from James Hibbard, just because it's funny. You could stop holding your breath for a Madam Web 2, or a Kraven the Hunter 2, or a Morbius 2. Yet, the Spider-Man Extended Universe isn't dead either. Sony Pictures chairman and CEO Tom Rothman confirms the studio is planning a, quote, fresh reboot, unquote, to the Spider-Man universe after the franchise's string of box office disappointments, aside from the Venom trilogy, which did perform well. Rothman was asked by Matt Bellany on the Town podcast, where are we in the Spider-Man franchise? Not the animated Spider-Verse. Is the larger Spider-Verse dead? No, replied Rothman. Are you going back to those at some point? Yes, Rothman confirmed. But it'll be a fresh reboot? Yes. New people? Yes, yes. The executive added that scarcity has value. You got to make the audience miss you. Rothman also, for the first time, confirmed a 2021 report that Spider-Man No Way Home was banned in China due to the film's climax taking place at the Statue of Liberty. The executive pointed out that the film made a $1.9 billion globally, which pisses me off to have to say this. You can say 1.9 billion. What's wrong with saying 2? Well, it didn't get into China, but in my mind, the film's box office is over 2 because I know what we would have done in China. Which, just pause for a minute. With the amount of people whose lives and livelihoods are hinged on the success of these gigantic media companies and whether or not, and again, we're not just talking about actors here, we're talking about artisans, we're talking about other filmmakers, we're talking about people like on the IATSE side of things. You don't get to do fucking girl math with your box office.
No.
You don't get to do round up. I don't have a problem with rounding up. 1.9, depending on how close that 0.9 is, fuck it, say 2. I don't care. But if
you're not saying 2 in the books, then shut up.
If you're not saying 2 in the books, shut up. If you're not saying 2 in the books, shut up. Because are you familiar with the phenomenon of girl math?
Oh,
do you?
Yeah.
I went out and I had like a really nice lunch, but I paid cash. So that means I didn't really spend money because the cash is in my pocket to be spent. Girl math. I do girl math all the fucking time because I spend my money on stupid shit. So I convince myself that the money I saved, however I saved it, is money I actually got back. You don't get to do that with your fucking box office, Tom. You are not allowed to do that. That is fucking horse shit. Like, this is the shit that Alden accuses me of doing in Epic Confrontations. Of like, you never knocked me out, so you never kicked my ass.
Oh, he's right.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
No, he's right. He's right. Yeah. Wow.
It's not.
You did that to yourself. You did that to yourself. In fairness.
I was trying to make a point that like this is the hyperbolized version of what he says I do. Piss off. Anyway, the Chinese Film Administration, which if anybody's curious about how that works, there's an older episode of Nerd Academy. I'll try to put it in the end card if anybody's curious, where Spencer and I interviewed a Wall Street Journal writer named Eric Schwartzel. You're nodding your head. Did you watch that episode?
I think I did.
Eric, ironically, actually, is a family friend of both of ours.
Yeah, no, I've watched it. Yeah.
Which is funny. But Eric wrote a book, very, very good book, very interesting book called Red Carpet, which is basically about like China's I don't want to say outsized, but very particular effect on movie making in Hollywood. It's a very good book, and it talks about like the reason some things get barred from being screened in China. It's a very, very fascinating book, and I recommend it to many people. I look forward to what Eric is working on next. But the China Film Administration just said, small thing, no problem, just cut out the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, entire third act.
Which is where the climax is. That was their request. Needless to say, Rothman did not change the film, which might have been impossible given the sheer amount of screen time that takes place at the iconic New York landmark. I also really did look forward to sitting in front of Congress telling them why I cut the Statue of Liberty out of the request of the Chinese Communist Party. This article's fucking hilarious. Sony reportedly courted China heavily for Spider-Man No Way Home, even releasing a Chinese poster amid hopes it would be the first Marvel Phase 4 film to clear censorship approvals. The prior film, Far From Home, made $200 million in China. Rothman was also asked about his relationship with Marvel boss Kevin Feige and opined, quote, "There are two people about whom I would say this. And the more I think about it, and maybe the more I think about it, but never bet against Jim Cameron and never bet against Kevin Feige." The live-action Spider-Man universe was plagued by both poor reviews and weak box office. Launched with 2018's hit Venom, which set a high watermark for the franchise with $856 million globally. The efforts included 2022's Morbius, $162 million globally, 2024's Madam Web, $100 million globally. Oh my god, I fucking didn't. 2024's Kraven the Hunter, which made $60 million globally. The article editorializes by saying an abysmal $60 million globally against an estimated budget of more than $100 million. But yeah, so Sony's getting a reboot. I saw there were rumors percolating about an animated Venom movie, which
is obviously different.
Which I would be interested in. I think if I got a Venom movie, I would like it to be R-rated. I kind of want to just get like Venom for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Like I don't necessarily think I need it to be R-rated.
No,
but I would like it. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's
like, depends what they do. You can still do Venom PG-13. Like, people go, "Oh, can't it just got to be R-rated?" No, can't. It doesn't have to be.
There's one thing that you cannot fault the Venom movies for is that it does the Venom action really well.
Oh yeah.
Especially on a PG-13 rating.
Wasn't the first one R?
No.
You sure? Doesn't he like just bite a dude's head off in the first one?
He bites a couple dudes' heads off and let there be carnage.
Certain the first one was R.
Mm-mm.
Is it actually not? That's crazy. Oh wow, it's PG-13.
All three live-action Venom movies are PG-13. Yeah.
Huh.
I also love that one of the top search results is Venom okay for a 7-year-old?
Yeah. Well, which context of Venom are you talking about there?
But I just think this is really funny. I wonder if Sony will ever learn their lesson. There's a part of me that's like, maybe there is maybe the turning point is kind of being teased to us in Spider-Noir, which we didn't get a chance to talk about.
That's fine. It looks boring as fuck. I'm sorry.
Really? I don't know if you listened to the teen app we did with Brooke. I am so over the moon for this. I am so fucking into it.
There's 4 actors I just can't stand. Can't stand.
Oh my god. Are you a Nick Cage hater?
You got Tom Cruise. You got Jared Leto. You got Matt Smith. You got Nick Cage. Nick Cage is an asterisk. Nick Cage is an asterisk. When Nick Cage needs money, fuck Nick Cage. I just get him as far away with me as possible. He makes my skin crawl. There's nothing good about I need money, Nick Cage. When Nick Cage doesn't need money, Nick Cage is fine. Spider-Man Noir is Nick Cage needs money, and I can't stand it.
I disagree. I'm so into Spider-Noir from the trailer. I'm so into that. Oh my god, that reminds me. Fucking, we got a trailer for The Boys. I forgot to put that in the show.
Oh, I haven't even watched it.
Dude.
I haven't
Oh
even
god, I'm
watched it.
so excited. Like, I don't really have anything other to say other than I'm excited. Just to acknowledge that real quick. Holy shit, I cannot wait for that.
I'm at a point in The Boys where I'm ready for it to end. I enjoy it still. I'm just ready for it to end, and I don't need to watch the trailer for it.
I think I'm in a similar place. Like I'm disappointed it's going to be over soon. Just as I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the the place The Boys cut out for itself in pop culture.
Which
to this day
just became culture.
What?
Just ironically then became the culture.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, I do think The Boys is the best Trump era like piece of media. I think if there is a piece of media that is explicitly about what has the world become in the late 20 teens and the 2020s, and reflecting on the way that culture has devolved, not just because of Trump, but because of the because Trump is a symptom of like late stage like neoliberal capitalism and the warmongering that facilitates like untold levels of profit for the worst companies on the planet. Trump is but a symptom. He is the most grievous of the symptoms, but he is but a symptom nonetheless. And I think
He's
The
the most
Boys is the
general.
best. I think The Boys is my favorite piece of media of this era about the era we're living in.
I
Which might
get it. Yeah.
which might be a hot take. I don't know. That's I'm saying no to a piece of Star Wars media in the process, so I'm against type already for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, with the Sony-Verse stuff, I am really excited for Spider Noir. At the very least, it has more of a person like Spider Noir, just using it as kind of like a bellwether for what could the Sony-Verse look like in the future. It has more personality to it in, I say, a single trailer. It's two trailers, but it's the same thing, just one in color, one not. It has more personality than Morbius, Madam Web, the Venom movies, and Craven all put together. Outside of it being ironic to fun, outside of it being ironic to and funny to watch, like the personality and the only real draw Madam Web and Morbius and to a lesser extent the Venom movies had was it's gonna be so fucking bad it's gonna be a great time. Maybe not Venom. I will give Venom the grace of maybe Venom has like enough personality that like it can't be in that like in like the smoothie of all the rest of the Sony slop.
Yeah.
But I don't. They all seem like half baked. Like, and I don't use this term lightly, but like it has that vibe of like I told an AI to make a whole movie about Morbius.
Yeah, I get you.
And I just there's just nothing to it. The Venom movies, they're funny, they're quirky, they're kind of camp, they're kind of queer, like there's something interesting about the Venom movies, I'll give them that, but like something like Madam Web, like that movie is going to be in the annals of history with like Blade Trinity as one of those, like, it's kind of astounding this movie even got made.
Yeah.
Like one day there will be like documentaries and exposés about, well, here's what happened. Like Ezekiel, what the fuck is his name? It's Ezekiel whatever. He's in Madam Web. I lost it.
Never
I
watched
had
it.
it and I lost it.
Yeah.
I would want to say Ezekiel Stain, but that's fucking Ironmonger's son.
That is. All I remember is he's that one spider character.
Ezekiel Sims. I was right that it was Ezekiel S name. But like Ezekiel, like he all of his dialogue is ADR'd over. You can tell
Yeah.
that it looks like an old bad anime that he's just like, I need to find these spider women before they can kill me. Like there's like other like those aren't that's not the shape that your mouth is making right now.
Yeah.
Those aren't the words you said when you filmed this scene. That's fucking fascinating. What happened with Madam Web? You know,
I just wanted to be an old
Morbius-
kung fu movie. That's it. Nothing more.
Yeah, you know, Morbius, like the only cultural impact, the only thing to be remembered of Morbius is that the movie did so poorly that when people online managed to gaslight Sony into re-releasing it on the back of its Morbin time. You know, the only personality, the only identity these movies have ever had is that they're bad and they're being made as a stopgap to maintain the rights to fucking Spider-Man. Something like Spider-Noir, it's weird, it's off the beaten path. They're already making really interesting choices with the fact that it is not Peter Parker, it's Ben Reilly. Like, and again, I don't know if you listened to that episode of TNAP, but I am very much of the mind that I think we're getting Noir
You think it's Clone Saga, don't you? Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I'm fucking calling that shot. There are already so many like themes and like visual language about duality and like of like twos that I'm convinced part of this is a psychotic break because he's a clone. I'm fully convinced, and I'm standing by that.
I feel
and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll be happy to be wrong because this was weird enough to present me with the possibility that maybe it's the fucking Clone Saga set in a detective thriller in the 40s. That's awesome. Give me more of that. You have characters that you can actually tell full stories with. You know, now granted, some of those characters, if I had to pick, I'd rather see them in the goddamn MCU. You could do a Black Cat movie. You could very easily do a full Black Cat movie.
I don't think you could.
I think you could.
I don't think Felicia's got that much going for it, to be honest.
I think you could do like a really stylish, sexy, like, you know, heist thriller with Felicia.
No, a Black Cat movie is just it's just a Sony movie. That's all that would turn to be.
But I'm saying, like, if you actually took the tender loving care and the time and wanted to make that work, I think you could do a Black Cat movie. You know, I think there are characters you could make work in as like we're gonna do a full movie about them, but like they need to be actual fucking movies. You know,
I mean that does tend to help. Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like I could imagine, like, you know, like, and like, I'm going to Hammerhead. Like just as I'm like picking like a villain I don't think we're going to see on the big screen anytime soon. But like I'm not trying to ape off of Insomniac, but like I think you could do a great movie with like where Hammerhead's the villain and Felicia's doing a heist and she has to like get through the Magia, you know? Like I almost said Silvermane, but he's going to be a main character in Spider-Noir, so maybe you don't double dip on that, you know? But like you could do something like that. You know, there are other like characters that you can use. There are lots of villains who would be great villains to a villain, you know, that we haven't touched. Like Venom basically has a movie where he sort of fights Null, but not really. Venom's main antagonist you could really use is Carnage, where you burn that in the second movie and you straight fucking killed him. And then Riot is in the first movie with Riz Ahmed, you know? Morbius movie, let's create a new vampire. You know, like Madam Web, let's use like a fucking Spider-Man Glup Shitto. Why was the Madam Web movie, why was the villain not fucking Alistair Smythe? Why was it not fucking Spider Slayer? You know, stuff like that. Like there's a lot on the table. You know, like hell, I've said, I don't know if I said it on air or not, to Spider-Man related thing. I so badly want a Miles Morales 2 while we wait for Spider-Man 3. Yeah. And I think the villain of that should be Alistair Smythe. Because I was talking to Eli a few weeks ago, and we were like, if you do a Miles 2, like what villains can you use that don't feel like something you wouldn't want to do without Peter being in the room? You know, like I love Miles. I don't want Miles to get all the fun with Carnage.
No, I get you.
I don't want Miles to have all the fun with Carnage. We're waiting on Doc Ock. We're waiting on Green Goblin. I don't know at this point with how much time they've put into setting up Norman becoming the Green Goblin. I don't know how I'd feel about doing a Hobgoblin right before that.
I mean, Hobgoblin came first anyway.
I know Hobgoblin came first. I'm saying because they've put so much effort into setting Norman up to become the Green Goblin, if I don't want to kind of like,
I get you.
if I don't want to kind of blow up his spot by doing another Goblin, as again, I like Hobgoblin. I love that design. Like I think Hobgoblin is one of my favorite looks for a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah,
I think he looks cool as shit.
He's not fucking green.
I don't think I've ever seen a Green Goblin design I didn't like.
No, but I'm saying the green is a very prominent color for Spider-Man villains.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Especially the one people give a shit about. Sinister Six, all green.
Save for like Rhino and
he's probably green eyes, the bastard. Let's be honest.
If Shocker ends up on the team, you get a little red and yellow, but no, you're not wrong. But all of that to say, like I think Alistair Smythe is a great Spider-Man villain we have not touched for film yet.
They have.
And
They have.
Where at?
Who's in TASM too? It counts. He's in there.
Okay, but he's not the villain of the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
He is Max's villain.
Okay, he's not in a floating wheelchair, nor does he have like the animated series.
He's in the chair.
Nor is he like the animated series with the weird like little dicks on his shoulder.
Yeah, no one wants shoulder dicks. No.
I want shoulder dicks. No. Give me shoulder dicks. But no,
Goblin Madness. If you watched Bombad Cast last night, Goblin Madness.
I did not catch Bombad last night. I was watching the season finale of Loki season 1 for Road to Doomsday, and I watched a great video from Daughters of Ferrix, a Star Wars podcast that I very much want to do a collab with at some point. Shouts out Daughters of Ferrix. Check them out. They did a great like reacting to your bad Star Wars takes, which it was a great video. But so I didn't catch Bombad. Honestly, I forgot it was Thursday because my day's been all fucked up this week. But
just know it involves you. It's fine.
What?
The bit involves you.
Oh.
It gave me a chuckle.
These bastards. Anyway, but no, like I think Alistair Smythe. Like I don't think you do. I don't think Alistair Smythe gets a movie. I think he'd be a great villain to use, though. Instead of Riot, instead of Kraven's dad, instead of Ezekiel Sims, Las Arañas, like fuck all that. There's something to be done here. And again, I think we've also gotten to the point where like, well, what all can end up in the MCU? I hope and pray that eventually we get Miles. So no, I don't think I quite want a live action Miles movie.
It's what I think you're gonna get. I heard Sony say reboot. I guarantee you they're gonna do Miles. Guarantee you. What's the one thing people have said the entire run of the Spunk? Why are you doing Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man? It's the one criticism people had. They're gonna do Miles.
I would sooner be happier to have 5 disposable, never gonna see him again Peter Parkers before we burn one live action Miles Morales on that shit.
It'll be Miles. I guarantee you.
I need them to give a shit. I'm sorry. I don't fucking want Miles unless he's in the MCU. I don't want Miles.
Neither do I. Neither do I. But it's gonna happen.
No, fuck, no. I so badly don't want you to be right.
Yeah, it will happen. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Why wouldn't it be? Let's be honest here. Why wouldn't it be? You've had people for years going, "Why are you doing Spider-Man without Spider-Man?" Oh, we did a really good animated movie people fucking love with Miles Morales. That's about to have its trilogy end. Oh, we're rebooting Spider-Man movies from Sony. Gonna be Miles. There's no reason why it wouldn't be Miles. The only reason why it wouldn't be Miles is because you don't want it to be Miles and you don't want to admit that it's going to be Miles. It's legit the only reason why.
You're right. You're right. I don't. Now, again, all of that to say,
unless they go absolutely fucking crazy, they just completely swerve me, and they go, "Here's Kane. Here's Kane Parker."
I think sooner do Ben.
Fuck, Ben's got no personality. That's why he's in Spider-Man Noir. Got zero personality. That show is just a Sony Spider-Man movie in black and white. That's the only personality it's got is black and white. Everything else is no different.
I think it's a little kooky and out of its mind. I think
which is no different to Madam Web and Craven. It's
no, Madam Web and Craven. No, that was like
exact same thing.
I fundamentally disagree with you. I think it has more sauce and more personality.
No.
Time will tell. Time will tell which one of us.
If you take Nick Cage out of that show, no one's gonna give a fuck.
I think maybe, but like I think part of it's also like fuck it. Nick Cage is Spider-Man now, and he's in a trench coat and a fedora. Like that shit's awesome. But I don't know. I would sooner do like a Ben Reilly. You know, like the prologue to the movie.
If we do Ben Reilly, then it needs to be Tom Holland in a blonde wig.
Well, I was gonna say, but this is your opportunity to like play with other actors playing Spider-Man. I would not mind having like extra Spider-Man actors. I really wouldn't. If DC can do it with goddamn Batman,
can DC do it with Batman? I see no evidence of that.
Well, they're going to.
Are they?
The Batman 2 and Brave and the Bold is.
Where's Brave and the Bold? We don't even have an actor.
On the way.
Doesn't even have a script. What's going on? What's going on? James Gunn says one thing and he's doing another.
Not the point. I would rather have a bunch of actors who are either playing Peter Parker or a facsimile of Peter Parker.
I think if they're smart, they do a different Spider-Man for each movie. We do a Scarlet Spider, we do a 2099, we do a Spider-Gwen, we do a Miles.
No, I don't touch Miles until he's ready to be in the MCU.
He's not gonna be in the MCU.
Mitch, people would fucking go crazy.
It's not gonna happen.
What if it did though?
You're never gonna see that.
What if Sony overnight got good at making Spider-Man movies and did a superior movie?
What if the world ended and you miraculously survived? I don't know. Just exist in the cold vacuum of space. That's the only way I'm getting that.
But that's how. But hold on though. But that's how willing I am to. Again, and I'm talking about things I have no ability to control.
But even then,
I would rather. That's what I'm saying though. I would rather sacrifice Miguel and Gwen and Ben and Kane and Otto.
Wow.
To let Miles have a good first live action movie.
Wow.
I'm so serious.
Few non-white guys and women in that lineup there, Jarod.
What?
Well, Miguel's not white. You said Gwen, that's a woman.
And then 3 crackers. Not the fucking point. I'm saying I love and want more. I want Miles to get his flowers and be celebrated as Spider-Man in live action.
Unfortunately, he does. He has that in animation, and that's the reason why he's gonna be their Spider-Man. The monkey paw is already curled on that one, I'm afraid.
I wouldn't mind a Spider-Man 2099 movie.
No, I wouldn't either.
With the right cast, I'd be really into that.
I just make them all anthology movies, and then at the end of the day, if you want to do a Spider-Verse, you can. No.
Sure. I'd be into that. Honestly, there's a part of me that would go do the Spider Noir route. I would love to see Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Just play him in live action. That would be really cool. I
Can
mean,
he not be racist though? Can we do
he's a
Miguel
little.
properly?
I don't know. He may be a little aged out of the role to do live action.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. If Nick Cage isn't aged out of the fucking role, I'm pretty certain.
No, but that's the thing. No, but I mean, like to just do it like as is in the comics. Like he's like what? Like Miguel's like what? Like early 20s when he first becomes Spider-Man 2099.
I can't remember, to be honest.
I think he is. I mean, he's working at Alchemax, so he has to be like an adult. But I don't know. I'd have to think on that. But Spears, I like just doing like anthologies that you said. I love that. Do all the Spider people. Let them have like a live action. We already know people like these characters. Just don't fucking touch Miles unless you either have
Miles will absolutely be the first one.
Unless you have a fucking masterpiece on your hands, or he's in the MCU.
No. He'll be anthologies. He'll be the very first one. This is how it goes.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Yeah. But you know what I do like?
The only thing worth talking about today. No, I can't.
Evangelion's back, y'all.
It is, yeah.
So, Mitch, you give us the rundown because you're more familiar with this stuff than I am, obviously. Hence the reason why we have a whole other show together about that very idea.
I mean, define rundown. What do you want?
Like,
that's the vaguest thing imaginable.
Like what's happening? What is this? When's it coming? Who's involved?
Right. Well, when's it coming? We don't know. All we know is it's in production. That could be next year. That could be 2 years. That could be 5 years. We just don't know. There's no. I'm assuming I put money on it's probably going to be either late 27 or early 28. I'm kind of hoping for a late 27 because that's when Evangelion came out.
What was I want to say.
No, it was 96. No.
Oh no, we're idiots. This is the 30th anniversary this year, so.
Yeah, but I think I want to say the original Evangelion ran over the winter season, so it would have started. No,
95. Last year was the 30th.
It's because it ran over Christmas. It ran over the end of the year. It went from 95 to 96.
Oh, so you want it to be kind of like a transitionary, like it starts one year, ends another year. I got you.
Yeah, that's my assumption of when it's going to be. If it's going to be 27, it'll be the autumn season. So please don't make it 12 episodes. That's my one fear. Just don't make it 12. Anyway, if you played near Replica or Replicant, near Automata, or any of the Drakengard games, you will know Yoko Taro. You will know Yoko Taro is penning this. He's writing it.
The day this got announced,
the man brought near.
Well, it's funny because it was a really funny full circle moment for me because everybody knows one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time is Soul Calibur. And the only reason I ever picked up Soul Calibur was because of Star Wars, because Yoda and Darth Vader and Galen Merrick were in Soul Calibur 4. And I fell in love with Soul Calibur after that and stuck with it. And I had no idea about the Nier franchise that it even existed until 2B was added as a guest character in Soul Calibur 6. It was funny because I actually had not touched Soul Calibur 6 in a minute. And I was like, I feel like playing some Soul Calibur. Sat down to play it, and it had to update. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Or I think I bought the season pass late or whatever it was. But it updated. I opened it and I was like, oh, like all these other, like Setsuka, a bunch of other like classic Soul Calibur characters were there. And I'm like, who's this chick? And played like a fight with her, went, oh, that's cool. Immediately used her to make Iron Man in character creation.
Classic.
And had no idea what her whole deal was. and a couple people I know who cosplay, they did her, and I was like, hey, what is this? Because my only point of reference for this is that she's a guest character in Soul Calibur.
Why is Rei Ayanami wearing a maid outfit?
Why is Rei Ayanami wearing a maid outfit with a little robot and a couple of swords bigger than she is? They're like, oh, it's from a game called Nier Automata. And I said, okay, that explained nothing, but thank you. At least I know what it's from now.
I'm playing the game will explain nothing.
But no, I found out and I saw that Nier Replicant and Nier Automata were both very much on sale on PlayStation and bought them both. I gotta be honest, I'm not having the time of my life.
You're not, no.
I'm not super in love with Replicant. I ended up in like a weird dungeon thing where you got to solve all these puzzles, and it is maybe the most grating shit I have ever done in my life. I don't gamer rage very often. Like I don't start like screaming and yelling and wanting to start throwing things. I don't throw things, but the compulsion arrives. And I just started fucking screaming and swearing and said, fuck this, I'm playing Fortnite.
Wow.
I got pissed off, but
man would never have finished Ocarina of Time. Has one of the most notorious second levels or dungeons. It's horrific. It's horrific. I saw a TikTok of this mum having her son play it, and it's like, when I beat this, can we go to Disneyland? It's like, yeah. It's like, that kid ain't beating that fucking that kid ain't getting past that. It's the Japanese way of doing dungeons. It's the fuck you mindset. You just got to be big brain, Jarod. Figure it out.
Dude, no, it's this fucking, it's this wall of like, it's this room where it's this wall to wall magical fucking lasers.
Mm-hmm. Sounds very near, yeah.
And you're not allowed to run, jump, or dodge.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not whittle away at your health if you get hit. If you get hit, it just sends you to the beginning of the room.
Mm-hmm. That to me is a skill issue, motherfucker. Just get good. Just get that. That's all you have. Yeah. It's just
here's
good,
the thing.
Please.
I have played like 4 or 5 hours of Nier Replicant already, and I did not die. I didn't even get to low health until I ended up in this fucking dungeon. Because I'm good at games. Typically, I'm good at games like this. I'm good at sword fight. Like here's the thing that I really like. What I really like about the combat in Nier. And obviously, like we're talking about it because the creator
it's very rare.
Ava.
It's not called Neon Genesis for a reason. No.
But I
for no reason
really like that they have a mechanic where if you dodge and immediately attack, it will basically have it be that you like roll out of the way and then flank the other guy from behind. And that's just such a slick mechanic that I have been abusing the shit out of and have just been wiping the floor with people. Like, I'm great at the fighting. I can scrap, but this room with the fucking magic lasers, fuck that.
You just can't walk fucking slow. Wow, crazy.
Anyway, but I can feel the Ava influence playing it already. Like there is that really foreboding sense of it's kind of post-apocalyptic, in the same way that Ava is kind of post-apocalyptic. And I find myself just kind of in a world that is like, I'll say this much. On the surface, Nier feels more hopeful than Ava does.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, but then from what
like, there's a dreariness and like the interiority of Shinji. And again, those of you who like Neon Genesis Evangelion, go watch the very first season of Pro and Noob. where Mitch gave me the ultimate gift, which was a piece of art that means the world to him and now means the world to me. But there is a like the interiority of Shinji Ikari's mind is one of somebody who is deeply insecure and very hopeless, and is like, it's bleak. There's a bleakness to Ava that is not as insurmountable in Near Replicant. Like in Near Replicant, like shit's bad. Like we were very much in a post-apocalyptic world. It's very much framed as we had the regular world that you and I live in today, where there's skyscrapers and shops and buildings and stores and cars and shit. And then some weird magical shit went down and it basically reset the world. And we're living in the aftermath of that. And we're kind of back to like an agrarian society, while there's also these like semi sci fi, semi fantastical monsters kind of ravaging the world. But like I said, the interiority of the main character, whom I also did not realize you got to name. So when it was like, enter your name, and I thought it was just for the save file, I just put Jarod in. And Taylor was watching me and she said, "Oh, Jarod, are you going to be the main character of the game?" And I was like, "No." And then I got through the prologue, and then there was like an in-game note from the main character's little sister that says, "Dear Jarod," and I was like, "Ah, shit." I'm this twink in fucking shorts with a gigantic sword. But like there's a lot of like tonal, like I see a through line here of like, there's like a big scary kind of unknown thing happened and it fucked the world up beyond repair. And it's weird and it's heady, and it just will kind of like drop a concept in your lap and have no impulse at all to explain it to you, and just kind of keeps going. And I'm like I can feel the tonal inspiration from Ava. And I know a lot of people talk about Near Replicant being like an all-timer. Or I'm sorry, Near Autonoma being
both. It's like Near in general.
I had only ever heard of Autonoma. I had never heard of Replicant. So like Replicant is a full like introduction for me. Autonoma, I still know very little, just that B2 is a character.
Well, fun fact, you will also, if you manage to beat the dungeon and you end up liking everything, you will have to play at least, let's just round out, about 200 hours of Final Fantasy 14 to get to Shadowbringers, to then do the Nier raids, which are canon to Nier.
I don't think I'm doing all that, dog.
You should. It's really fucking good. Those raids are good. Those raids are my only exposure to Nier outside like osmosis stuff. And one thing I wish I didn't fucking know, because it's cool as shit. Yeah. It's like, oh, cool. I played a bit of Nier story and I didn't even realize it.
That's cool. That is really cool. But yeah, so I can see the inspiration. I mean, where do you think this is going? Because like to me, like,
well, the text on the screen in the trailer, it does say a completely new series that started production. There's obviously some other stuff in there as well. And it also says, who's writing it, the directors of it, which we do have the assistant director of End of Evangelion back. So I'm fucking happy about that. As well as one of the Chainsaw Man movie editors, animators even. So it's in very good hands. And of course, the guy who wrote the score for Nier is doing this as well, which you can really hear in that first fucking beat. It's like, yeah, this is Nier music and it strangely fits with Evangelion. It really fits. So all we know is it is a complete new series. What that means, I don't actually know. No one really knows at this point. There's a lot of speculation that it's going to be completely new characters. People want new characters. I say, fuck off, you're wrong. It's got to be the characters again. It could be different takes. Fine. I can't see how you do Evangelion without Asuka Ray and Shinji. I just don't see it. Just don't
I
see it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too like Western Legacy sequel pilled. There's a part of me that almost wants it to be like a new guard meeting the old guard.
Yeah. Because
Like I
how
want.
does that work? How does that work?
I don't know.
You don't have you can't do the Avas in that story with those characters being older. Just doesn't work. Goes against the entire ending completely.
Sure, I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
saying there might be a way to do it that way. You know,
Yeah.
we talked off air about how the trailer shows like Shinji's cello and piano, which is very, angling towards Karu. Like there's
You've
any
also got the
number.
violins, which are what Ray and Asuka played in
That's true.
Death, Rebirth, or whichever one it was. I watched it recently because I watched just the original stuff when this was announced. But I don't see how it can be anyone else. I think even with this announcement, the fact that it is the instruments, I don't see how it can be anyone else. They're outright telling you it's them.
Do you think that Ava at the end, or that creature at the end, is that an Ava
Oh,
or an
that's
angel?
Unit
Do you
1.
think?
That's
Do you
Unit
think it's
1.
Unit 1? I've seen a lot of people say they don't think it's Unit 1.
I've seen that. I just think it's just outright wrong, to be honest. I think it's 100% Unit 1. It's got the horn, it's got the mouth, it's got the little
Like the
the
mandibles.
fin. It's got the silhouette of Unit 1. It just looks a bit more like a bug. Now the question with it though is that just Unit 1 normally, or is that Unit 1 going a bit doolally? See, it's got all the signs of like it's lost the plot.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have like the mouth guard, like its mouth
Doesn't have
is
the mouth guard.
exposed,
Doesn't have the
like the
visors
lenses.
over the eyes. Like
Yeah,
it's just
and it's like,
pure
and then the
eye.
way it's like it's snarling,
Mhm.
like it feels like it's like, because it doesn't feel like it's just there. It's just going at the camera, like it's about to freak the fuck out.
I honestly believe that's going to be the first episode. I think that's when it loses its shit over. I can't remember the name of the first angel, but when he first pilots it, I think that's that bit. Yeah. And we lean into the horror of what these things actually are.
Be interested in that. I'd like that. I'd be down with that.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the direction they go with it, because obviously it is in a stark contrast between the whole orchestral bit and then bang, here's a very barely visible Unit 1
Yeah.
with all the steam in the mouth and the teeth. That's nothing. The teeth are exposed. The teeth aren't exposed on any Unit 1.
Right.
They're always behind everything. So it's going to be interesting. Also, be noted that it is being done by Cloverworks with Studio Kara. Cloverworks is a hell of a get. That's crazy. It's a dream. If you had to have someone take the reins of Evangelion, they just knocked every checklist off in one.
Right.
People would absolutely want Yakutaro to be writing this thing or even directing it, because he's just Arno. That's maybe not as depressed as Arno, but it's definitely he's close. He's an absolute whack job. He's so funny, but yeah, I just don't know. There's only one thing I really want outside of it being the main cast, is I want the manga ending or
You want the what?
the manga ending.
What
I
is
want
the
how
manga
that
ending? What is
Right.
the manga ending? Because we never actually really talk about the manga on Pro and Noob.
Well, the whole, because it deviates slightly. It's not as much as the rebuilds. It still follows the core story of it. A lot of Yui's thing is she wants them to see snow, because it's eternity summer in Evangelion, because obviously the second impact fucked up the seasons. So it ends in the winter when it's snowing, with Shinji re-meeting Asuka at the high school train the first day. So they're all coats, scarves. You see, what is it? The mass-produced Avas for some reason still there as statues and they're covered in snow. So you just have something you've never seen Evangelion before. Incredible. It's my favorite ending out of all 5, 6 endings Evangelion's had. But it hasn't got necessarily to be exactly the same. I just want to see it in the snow. Because it's such a stark, striking contrast for the rest of the
Right. I mean, that's just so unheard of for what the show typically is.
You know, because you have cicadas throughout the entire thing because it is just summer. Perpetual summer.
Like I said, I don't know what to expect. There's a part of me that like I love how the rebuilds end so much. You know, like I found it so deeply affecting this whole idea of like this, not even like a time loop, but like a reality loop. You know, that is just kind of like constantly in motion. That, you know, it's basically reality is going to keep replaying itself until we get to a point where you've learned what you need to learn to accept yourself. You know, and I think part of the reason why I want it to be some version of a like old guard and the new guard, you know, Han, Luke, and Leia with Rey, Finn, and Poe kind of thing. That is that like you can have Shinji and Asuka and Rey kind of like, or even if Rey's fucking there, who knows how you manage that. But
I mean,
like,
she's there in the rebuilds.
She's there in the rebuilds, but like, you know, but it's also weirdly up in the air how much they actually remember, you know, of like their previous.
Well, that's the thing with the
lives.
manga is that the manga is just complete. It's they don't remember anything. It's just they are normal people, but something's happened because you see the mass-produced Avas just floating there.
I don't know. There's a part of me that like doesn't want to let go of them like achieving the ability to live with themselves. You know what I mean? Like and seeing the way that this and but like hold on, the way that that is not a open and closed book. Is that something that you live with and have to choose to fight for and fight with always. You know, you can have a breakthrough where you're now at the point where you can sustain it. But actually sustaining it is its own adventure, and that can be something you see for the old guard. And the new guard is living with whatever. You know, there's a part of me that doesn't. There's a part of me that is a little weary of going back and doing this all again with Shinji and Asuka and Rey and Kaoru, etc., 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 etc.
Just make it different. Like,
I'm excited either way. I'm going to be there either way. It's going to take over pro and noob something fucking fierce.
It'll be interesting because we'll be in the same boat. This will be the first time we'll be in the same boat.
Which I love.
Kind of spooked.
I feel like when the new Ava comes out, obviously we would never change the name of the show. But I almost feel like that would be my like Padawan knighting.
No, I can't have that.
Kind of just, you know, kneel
for
down.
branding's sake. I can't have that.
No, but like spiritually for the journey for me.
You can do it. Branding wise, no.
You know, by the right of the weeaboo and by the will of the otaku, I dub thee pro knower of the anime. Cut off the Padawan braid. Cut off the Nubawan braid.
It's
really exciting though. This is really fucking exciting.
Yeah,
I'm so pumped.
I just want to know because a lot of people are questioning if it's going to be in the 14-year gap in the rebuild, which I think is fucking crazy. A, Unit 1 don't look like that. B,
I never even thought about that.
Yeah. It's people are purely going on it because the orchestra is like the buildings. It's obviously all got down, right? It's had something's happened in that shot at the start.
Yeah.
It's obviously post-apocalyptic. You got the greenery growing up, everything, and people are thinking it's that. I that's worst case scenario for me. I think if you brought Yoko Taro and everyone on for that, fuck you, that's a waste.
Yeah.
It's an absolute, that is next to making this whole thing 12 episodes. Which, love a cop, please. I don't need 1,000. I don't need One Piece. I don't need Bleach. I don't need whatever. Just give me 24 episodes and a movie. That's all I want. That's all I need. Just let Ava be that. Doesn't need to be 4 movies. Just have it be 2 seasons and a movie. That's all I need.
2 seasons and a movie? I can get down with that.
Mm-hmm. Or 1 season if you're going to do a full length. It depends. It depends. Yeah, if you really want to go at a push, you can do what Gundam used to do and go 50 episodes, I guess. But actually,
Either way,
what? You know
very
what?
exciting.
If you give me 24 a movie and another 24, I'm totally fine with that. The movie's obviously the impact. It's not going to be the end, obviously, but then just bring in everything that Arno's done and take from there. I'll be fine with that. My big thing is, as well, please let it look like whether you see the instruments, the bulk of the teaser. I need that. Need it to look like that. So I've been watching, ironically, it's an orchestral thing, Sound Euphonium recently.
Okay.
And that might be one of the best looking shows I've ever fucking watched in my life. That animation is stunning. Every frame is gorgeous. It's like, I kind of want, not that it's by Cloverworks or anything, it's Kyoto or something, but I just need it to look. I can't live with one frame, man. Evangelion, I really can't. I need my Evangelion to look good. Please. I have no faith. I have faith it will look good. My brain just.
So you have no fear. You have nothing but
yes.
faith.
That's the correct F word. Yes, that's the correct. Yeah, well done. Yeah. No.
You did the thing I always do. We end up shoving 2 different sentences that mean the same thing into each other.
Too much Evangelion brain. That's
But yeah,
that's my thing.
Well, with that, I think that brings us to the end of the show. Nice little news roundup. Had a good time. As we said before, Mitch is going to do his plugs, but go check out Pro and Noob. Go hear us talk more about Evangelion. Hear us talk about more about Attack on Titan. And for good measure, Cowboy Bebop, Dan to Dan, Princess Mononoke, and Star Wars Clone Wars. The Tartakovsky one, not
and other various movies about to come up after Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's gonna be movies for the foreseeable future until I'm done with Road to Doomsday.
Yeah, maybe not foreseeable. We still got right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't want to pull a Pro and Noob where we start doing scheduling.
We still have 15 weeks. That's not including what's coming out on Monday. So there's 16 episodes left.
That's fair.
For the foreseeable future, it's Attack on Titan.
Sure. I'm just saying, after that, we'll come back and we'll be doing movies for a little while. But
If Attack on Titan finishes on the Mitch 2 channel and you haven't finished Road to Doomsday, I am going to be stunned.
I think you
actually
overestimate how much we're able to get done in a week.
Actually stunned. I mean, you say that, but when it came to WandaVision, I didn't rewatch it because you gave me a day. Then we went, oh, we watched it in a day.
I know that was before we both had fucking jobs again, asshole.
I mean, sure, but even so, like you hit me with that. It's just like, thanks.
I know. I meant to invite you sooner, and I forgot because I'm a bad friend.
Which really fucking hurt.
Because I thought I did. I thought I did invite you, and then I realized
you might have done, but I couldn't remember. To be fair, I also didn't know when you were going to be recording it. So.
Yeah. Either way, but all that said, Mitch, your actual plugs.
Yes, Mitch 2 channel again. Pro and Noob. Jarod is about to have one hell of a crash out. The latest episode.
Oh boy.
The latest episode
It's about to get real.
Very, very funny.
It's about to go down.
Very funny. I need to actually. Oh no, I can watch it back tomorrow and make sure the edit came out fine. Yeah, make sure to turn on Blue Sky. I will occasionally just go, hey, new Evangelion thing's happening again, because it's only been 10 days. I did forget and remember.
Yeah.
Do the stuff. That's it.
Do all the stuff.
I'm not going to say it here because that's Travis's thing.
You guys can find me personally over at Dark Jedi 2552 on Instagram and Blue Sky. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube. And if you would like, you also go to our website, thenerdacademypodcast.com, where if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon.
Hey, give me $1.
Took a minute for it to load. That frustrated me. Little point of order. I'm going to put a post on Patreon about this as well. Road to Doomsday is going to be coming out in bursts. If things go the way I think they're going to go, basically Patreon is going to get a month's worth of content at a time, where we will basically be doing a month's worth of shows within a month and then posting them. Those of you at home saw how Phase 3 went. You guys basically got Infinity War. It was basically like Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Endgame, Far From Home, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, not in that order, at once. It's basically how it's going to be going for the foreseeable future, especially while Taylor and I are trying to get through Loki. That's kind of been a little bit difficult. Schedules have been rough. Taylor's not been feeling well. Stuff like that getting in the way. But once you get through Loki, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternal, something that Mitch will be on for. Those will all be hitting your. Those will all be piss off. Those will all be hitting your feeds post haste, and then the next month and going. But if you guys want to get ahead of what we have going on for Road to Doomsday, you can subscribe to the Patreon. The $5 tier, you get early access to every episode. So right now it is up to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And you get exclusive access to our audio commentary tracks for the movies if you want to watch along with us. And hopefully in the next 2-ish weeks, you guys will have season 1 and 2 of Loki. We're doing that all as one big episode, talking about the whole show. That's why it's taking us so long. So you get all of Loki as one episode, and then Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals. So they'll all be up there, and then we'll keep going. Like I said, it's mostly getting through the TV shows. My schedule's weird, and Taylor's weekends have filled up precipitously with life stuff. So thank you all for your patience. Lots more Road to Doomsday on the way. So stay tuned for that. And a $10 tier, you get all that plus a shout out at the end of every episode. So thank you to Ray Clausen and Paco for supporting the show. Thank you to our $10 alumnus. You also catch Taylor and I over on Luminous Odyssey on the All Remaining Systems channel, the Star Wars RPG we're doing, set in the High Republic era. New episode coming soon. We recorded last week, so Michael should have that coming out very shortly. I don't know if it's coming out today or not, actually, now that I think about it. But stay tuned for that. I know Michael said we're getting close-ish to the end of season 1. So when that is all over, we'll be taking a little bit of a break, mostly from Maul Shadowlord, because Joe Organa, one of our other table mates, is going to be co-hosting Bombad Maul Rats on the Bombad cast as they cover Maul Shadowlord, which you guys will also be able to catch our coverage of on Knights of the Nerd Republic here at the Nerd Academy podcast as well. Very excited for Maul Shadowlord. But yeah, and then Epic Confrontation, Star Wars Trivia League I'm in. Michael and I are still going strong in the teams tournament, waiting to see if we will face our own faction mates in Bill Sheehy and J-Dub, or if Michael and I get to rectify certain inequities with Scotty and Alden. We'll see. But very exciting stuff coming out of EC, and obviously Pro and Noob. We talked about it a good bit this episode. But all of that said, thank you so very much for watching and or listening. Be sure to follow us in all the places, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and class dismissed.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar!